Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. The next episode of Red Valkyrie is about to start.
All right, welcome everyone to another episode of Red Valkyrie. I am your host, Shae the Red, feeling very red and very happy and jolly and maybe a little bit, shoot 'em up like in the background. And I am here with the super awesome and amazingly talented Ryan Haack. How are you, sir?
Very well. Thank you for having me on again. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. We love Bric-a-Brac and we love Ryan Haack. And I am super, super happy that we're getting you back on because I remember we tried this and I think we tried it a little too soon when people were refusing to even remotely think about Christmas. And it kind of didn't hit like you were hoping.
No. I was like, we're going to do the whole graphic novel and it's going to be amazing. But it didn't work out. But that's okay because actually I found that I had to restrict the story in a lot of ways. And so now that we're going to go into a 3 issues and expand the story, I actually am happier that way because I found myself having to be like, okay, well, it's going to have to be 80 pages and we have to do all this. And it's just, it didn't work. So I'm glad actually in hindsight that happened.
Right. I think that this is probably a better avenue, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, I think so too.
Sorry, the chat is killing me here. Yeah, it is a costume. Thank you, Tatsunami. It's not too bad. Wolverine says the stash is pushing her sexiness. I don't know what direction, and I'm a little scared. You guys are absolutely fucking epic, and I'm really excited. So you have a video on your campaign. Do you want to watch the video first?
Absolutely. Whatever you want to do.
All right, let's go ahead and watch the video. Forgive me, the hat is very tall, so it's going to take me a second to look up. I'm totally going to do this.
War has left the inhabitants of planet Christmas. The Nutcracker's War has left the inhabitants of planet Christmas hopeless and desperate for heroes. Dozens of provinces and villages have been taken over by General Almond and his evil soldiers who aim to rule the planet and capture all the Christmas spirit that's left. But out of nowhere, a new hope has arisen. Our young hero Garrett is on a quest to find Father Christmas, who he believes is the only man that might have the power to dismantle the war completely. Garrett, and a leader of the small but mighty Christmasville militia, could be the only chance the planet has at returning to its jolly old self. But several questions remain. Where's Father Christmas, and why has he not stopped the war already? Who is Jack Frost, and what dark partnership did he have with General Almond? And what evil lurks behind the drawbridge of Castle Wenceslas? Raphael Sam will once again be the interior artist of this second issue. I, Ryan Haack, will continue to write the story, and Tom Barton, our great cover artist, will draft the 5-page backup story, The Tragedy of Jack Frost, as well as drawing the variant and main cover of the second issue. Bric-a-Brac is back and better than ever. Please help us make this a reality.
Hell yeah.
Short, sweet.
I mean, it's directed to the point. I like it. So you're currently sitting at 13% to your fixed goal.
Yes.
And 30 backers with 16 days left.
Yes.
And something that Ryan and I were talking about, and this is before we get into his pitch, Ryan has given himself a very tight deadline. So he wants to have this done by November because he wants to make sure that he can get this into your hands before Christmas. So when it comes to extending, Ryan, you were saying that you might extend for 15 days. You don't want to extend any
exactly.
More
past that. Yes, exactly. But we'll see. Again, it's just a matter of where we're going to be at the last day. I hope I'm going to try to push as hard as possible to make us get to the goal because I believe we can. I really do. Like, there's been a resurgence. I kind of just got on a bunch of shows and there's been like a resurgence. I don't know how, but for a second there, I was like, oh man, I think we're gonna sink. But yeah, we're kind of going back into it, and so yeah, I'm just gonna push as hard as I can because I really want it to happen.
Oh,
And,
absolutely.
Yeah, so it's just a matter of finding the people who are interested. So
exactly, and if you backed the first one, the art is beautiful.
yes,
and it's a fun story with a lot of. It's definitely something that you could sit down and share with your kids and share with your the younger people in your family. But it's also just entertaining. Like I backed it because I love Christmas, and I don't regret backing it all. I think that it's a really fun story, and I'm very much looking forward to this continuing on.
Yes, absolutely.
So Unhinged is asking straight out the gate, is this the first 30 days?
Yes, it is the first. Yep.
So we are going to we're going to see if we can't hopefully get Ryan. I mean, funded would be great if we could get him funded in the next little bit. But understanding that is maybe not a possibility, if we can get it and so he can still hit his deadline without it being too much of a time crunch, because it's really important to him that you get it in time for the holiday season.
Yeah, exactly. Because last time I feel like it was kind of a bummer, but there was a whole history behind that.
Extend my Christmas.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And if that needs to happen again, hopefully it doesn't. But the whole thing with the first one was that I had a campaign in September and we were all planning it out, but then that campaign failed, and then I had the one on Indiegogo, and then I extended it, which probably wasn't the best idea. But you live and learn. You live and learn, and so yeah, that was.
I mean, and that's the thing is, so Ryan has already fulfilled a book. This is the second of that book, and he's got a lot of other really great ideas. So this is something you definitely want to get in on for sure. He also always seems to find really, really good talent to work with to help bring his stories to life. And is it Raphael? Is that who you're working with?
Yes, Raphael Sam is the interior artist.
Oh my gosh, he is so perfect for this book. His art style is just gorgeous and whimsical and exciting. Like it was so much fun the first time around. So
for sure.
I'm gonna let you go into exactly what Bric-a-Brac is. Like, go on with your pitch.
Yeah, so Bric-a-Brac is basically, I would say, a amalgam of the Rankin and Bass movies. So we're talking about the Rudolph Shining New Year, A Year Without a Santa Claus, added with a sci-fi twist. So kind of like those added to Star Wars. What would that look like? And so, another pitch that I kind of have is it's basically like if the Christmas world from The Nightmare Before Christmas just expanded. What would it look like? And so that is the attempt of, like, everyone wants to see it. And everyone's asking, when's the sequel to Nightmare Before Christmas going to come out? Well, this is just kind of like, what does it look like for real? And so it was the attempt of really trying to fully flesh out a Christmas planet. Like, what would it look like? And not just snow, but, tropical islands, aquatic Atlantic or Atlantean, civilizations. What does it look like? A fully fleshed out world. And so basically the story, though, is about a war on planet Christmas. And the Nutcrackers are after a resource that they want, that will give them the power to take over the planet. And they go to villages and collect it, and basically wreak havoc. And so our hero Garrett wants to stop them because they've destroyed his home. But not only that, they've kidnapped his friends, and he needs to find Father Christmas, who he believes, as I say in the trailer, is the only person capable of defeating the Nutcrackers. But there's a conflict in that because he can't find Father Christmas. Father Christmas is on the run. So there's a lot of things going on. And in issue 2, I would say things get more ramped up. The characters will definitely be at their lowest by the time we finish issue 2, which is kind of
for Christmas.
which is kind of like indicative of a lot of sequels. But also we're adding new characters, cast of characters. Jack Frost is a huge one. Good King Wenceslas, the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future, and the conflict rises. And not only just the conflict between the enemies, but the conflict between both Garrett and Marie, the two main characters, they clash. And it's just issue 2 is so cool. If issue 1 was the beginning of the journey, issue 2 is the conflict, and issue 3 will be the battle, the massive battle, and the conclusion. But this is the meat, of the Bric-a-Brac story. And I hope that people jump onto it, because I have so many cool things, not only with the backup story, which is one of the funnest things I've ever worked on and collaborated on, but Bric-a-Brac 2 is the same. It's there's so much with this. I'm so excited to bring it to people.
That I'm honestly very excited to see this too, because there's, like you said, it's so many like worlds that have just kind of come together, and there's so much that was showing up in the first book, because you had like the little sugar plum fairies, and they had like, their own section, and like I remember telling you, I was like, oh, I love the Nutcracker, and you go, he's the bad guy, and I went, oh, of course he is, look at him with his hair. Like, it was just the way that everybody is drawn and created. It's 1,000% what you want. Like, this is what I want in a Christmas story, because it has all of the whimsy, it has all of the entertainment, and you take it in a direction that most people don't go for Christmas stories. But I really, really, really love that you've given it so much action and adventure and all this kind of, fun aspects of it.
For sure.
Pastmaster Dan has a question, and this is actually something that was asked earlier. Are there any dentist elves in this?
No, at the moment there are not, but there is a character tier where you could add your own dentist elf. So that's kind of a plug. So if you want, you can do it. It can happen, but it's up to you.
It could be a thing, but we're gonna need your buy-in and involvement. That's where it happens. That's where the best ideas happen.
Exactly.
So one of the things that I love that Ryan has done is he shames himself immediately. This is a young Ryan.
Yes, it is. Yep.
In his Spider-Man sweater. You're so cute. Look at you. You're such a happy little boy. But if this doesn't tell you, like, Ryan has been into the Christmas scene all of his life.
Yes, definitely.
Raphael, the amazing artist. This is probably one of my most favorite images.
Caricatures of someone else.
So good.
It is great.
Exactly as I imagined him.
Yes, Tom is a beast. Yeah, Tom is an absolute. He's great with the covers. He compliments Raphael's artwork really well. In fact, absolutely. To the point where I think just in such a unique way, he takes the characters and then kind of just makes them bold, kind of just stand out. And so I don't know. It's I think you'll get to see his really great sequentials when you look at the backup story that he's drafting. And so it's all good. I think I'm so blessed to be able to work with such great talent. It's awesome. And I've had a relationship with Tom artistically for about 2 years now, and same with Raphael. So these aren't people I just met randomly. I've known these guys, and we've planned this for a very long time.
Oh, that's awesome. That is so cool. Pastmaster Dan wants to know, is there a Sasquatch elf?
Sasquatch elf? Maybe. The elves, again, it's possible, you might have to create your character there, but it's a possibility. I've always imagined there could be like that one tall elf that just kind of just stands up but the elves are really, really small. And so I don't, there's not a lot of scenes with elves, to be completely honest. I don't even think in issue 2 there are any scenes with elves. But in issue 3 there will be. So, we could think about that in the future.
Nice. I like it. And apparently Wolverine is talking about Bumble.
Yes, from Rudolph, right?
See, it has been so long since I have actually seen Rudolph. Is the cousin that inhales laughing gas? Is that accurate?
I don't know about that. I just know that he throws his pitchfork and then licks it or something to find gold, which I don't really know if that's. Yeah, there's some. He's like Yukon Cornelius. Or no, wait. Bumble is the Sasquatch that Yukon Cornelius is hunting or something. I don't remember.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch now. You see what
Rudolph is kind of.
Rudolph is a weird one.
It is weird. It very
has
strange.
A lot going on in it.
Yeah, that's not at all like the song at all. There's so much going on.
Oh, past Master Jan is upset with all of us. Is the Yeti? Look, it's Yeti, Sasquatch, Ice Giant. They're all like the same thing.
They're
right?
all the same. But I would say that there is an Ice Giant, 100%, and it is Jack Frost.
And he looks amazing.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
And so Jack Frost is
so good.
The big fight in the middle of the issue is between Jack Frost and General Almond. And so there's like a drama between them that will be revealed in the backup story as to why they're fighting. And also, if you pay attention to issue 1, they do mention Jack Frost. And they're like, because he froze all of this, the Christmas spirit, which is the resource that the Nutcrackers are after. So that's why General Almond has to go find Jack Frost so he can unfreeze the resource so they can collect it. And so he's pissed at Jack Frost because Jack Frost is trying to help the kids. And so, that's kind of the drama there. And so, and Jack Frost has been in hiding. And if the backup story will also reveal to you that Jack Frost did not always look like this. He looks like an elf, which if you scroll up, I think, or down, I think up, up a little bit more. Yes, that is what Jack Frost looked like originally, the guy who's with the flute.
Oh, wow.
And so something happened and transpired to make him look like a big monster. And so we'll get to see that transformation. So it's very cool.
Wow. That is that's really interesting too.
Yes. Yes, for sure. It's again, I would say that issue 2, it takes everything from issue 1 and really makes it a lot about character. It's very character focused, because I feel like a lot of people did have some issues with 1 in terms of like, okay, Garrett's a little generic, so let's give him more depth. And I want to, put him in more conflict and same with Marie, they have different goals and they clash. And so that's what issue 2 is all about. Taking what we built and then just kind of adding more conflict and just adding more care. And so it's so fun. Yeah, there's always something going on.
I'm excited for that because I do remember when I was reading, the one thing that I did feel about issue 1 is that it felt like it happened so fast because there was so much. It's like, hi. So there's various planets. And one of them is a Christmas planet. You're like, okay. Fallen is like, so here's a bunch of people. You're like, okay, yeah. And it's like, you need to know all of these people. By the way, this guy's going to go on an adventure. Here we go over there. And so that's the end of book 1. And you're like, wait, what just happened?
Yeah.
Wait, where was that? I was like 2 seconds ago. There's a planet, Christmas.
Yes.
And I don't know what happened, but Nutcrackers are bad.
Yes. Yeah. So I honestly, it's like the first page. I wish I could go back and like add, because the first page, it's like, okay, here's the world, and then bam, it's just like right into the invasion. So it's like, I kind of wish that we could have developed a little bit more of that. But that's what, I'm just really glad that we can continue on and tell the story and improve in the storytelling elements. And I just think that it's a seamless progression. We pick up literally right where we started. And a lot of people thought the ending was a little awkward of the first issue, which I agree, because we kind of just ran out of, you ran out of pages. Yeah, exactly. And I was like, okay, well, we have to end this. Okay, here's this kind of seemingly dramatic moment. Okay. And so that's kind of what happens there. But it is important because it's the first point of contention really between the two of them. And that builds. And that really does build in the second issue. So when it's all in trade, it will read normally. But it's kind of a little weird with issue 1 and then issue 2. It's like, what happened? Okay. But so much happens in issue 2. I'm so excited to bring it to people. And I think that I'm a better writer than I was a year ago. So I'll just say that.
That's exciting to hear. And one thing that I think is really cool, because I like backing when we have the sequentials, because you get to see people grow and kind of come into their own and everything. But at the same time, you could always do a wrap-up campaign, maybe where you have a higher goal and you look for hardcovers that collects everything that's the director's cut. So you get to go through and fix some of the things that you didn't really like how it flowed on one, and you get to take two and add it in where you want it. And so everything is exactly how you envisioned it at the very end, which I think would be a really, really cool goal to get to in the future. But we got to obviously get there first by getting this funded, getting 3 funded. And so we've got that full and complete story that you can then go through and make everything exactly as you want. But this is one of the really, really exciting books that I definitely want, and I would love a hardcover of that I could put with all of my Christmas decorations. So every year when I get them out, I can get out this book along with the Diary of Saint Nicholas, and the things that I like to read every year, and the movies I watch every year, because they give me that feeling, and I would love to be able to add this into that.
Yeah, no, I would love to do that too, just to make a hardcover with gilded, just really make it look like a book, a Christmas book, like a story book. And so hopefully, in a year or 2 years, we can do that. I would so love to do that.
That would be
great. My gosh, it would be great. And just to add it all together. And again, I think it is important. It kind of stinks because I would love to be like, bam, 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 and get it all done. But again, like I've tried, it needs to happen during Christmas. I mean, it's just like, it does.
And it's one of those things. It's because it's really hard. So you got to think, Christmas is a really taxing time. There's a lot of emotion. People have a lot of nostalgia. But there's also a really, really staunch movement about Christmas is for Christmas time. So when people are trying to talk Christmas stuff in July, you're like, no, July is summer. Christmas is Christmas time. Like you can start. I mean, I'm not even a huge fan of us starting in October with a lot of Christmas talk because it's so early. And I was like, but I love Halloween and I love Thanksgiving and I don't like glossing over all of that. The only pass that you get is the fact that we know that this is in production.
Right.
But it's one of those, I'm investing so I can get it in time for Christmas.
Right, exactly. And I'm glad that I've given myself an extra month, and it's just I want to be the most prepared with this because Raphael, when he gets into the groove, he just like, there was one time, he was doing 2 pages a day. I was like, oh my God, this guy is an absolute legend. And it's just once we get into production, it's going to be really cool, but we have to kind of get the money to make that happen. And we're still producing pages all the time, but it's just about, the Indiegogo will help so much if we make it. So
right, making sure that you have the right funding.
Exactly.
And
I would say we're 20%, we're 25% done, but we will need, obviously once we finish, and all of that is my money, and probably my money will be until 50%, but the other 50% will need to come from like the community, and so yeah.
Well, that's awesome though. I love that you pour so much of yourself into these. I think that really shows a lot about how you feel about the project, but also, it shows your genuine desire to see this come to fruition, even if it means, hey, I got to fund a good chunk of it. You get to kind of show everyone that it's worth their time and their money to back you understand more than
100%
than most people. Like times are rough and funds are tight and everything. And you really try to cater to people with your tiers, which I think is awesome. Speaking of, let's go over your perks and so people know how they can back you.
Yes. So first, I will just say that this is the first time I ever understood what an add-on perk is. So I did add on the add-on perk for Bric-a-Brac 1. If anyone is interested in getting it, obviously there's a tier on here where you can get both. But if you just wanted to get like the shirt and this and that, and then wanted to get issue 1, you can add it on. So I thought that was a cool thing. And it has no extra shipping with it. So, so it was kind of hard to understand what it was all about. I was like, okay, how do you do it? And then why does it have its own shipping? But now I understand. And so, so we have digital options for both, the first one and the last, the new one, and then physical And again, just the dual, so like both of them. And so again, just kind of trying to cater towards every kind of person. So, there are people who are from the UK who said I can't really pay $15 for shipping, or people from different countries who it just really helps out. And I appreciate that people really do want that physical copy though, which it does help. And it's awesome that people do, because you think, and I think that the idea is that people don't do digital a lot because they think that people will kind of cater more towards the digital because it's cheaper. But I found that that's not true. I always have way more physical backers than digital. And that just might be me. But it seems like that's a trend that I've seen, is that hardly any, maybe 25% of the people back digital, and then the other 75 back. But it might not be accurate. But it's just it seems that way.
The thing that I would say about digital, and this is something because I know that one of the big concerns a lot of people have is pirating, and granted, totally understood concern and valid.
Right.
I will say the second. Okay.
Oh, sorry. I see. Sorry. I did not.
That wasn't you. That was me. That was
okay. I was like,
my internet decided to dip out randomly.
I was like, no, it's starting again.
No,
our issue.
No. My bad. We're good.
Awesome.
No. So what I've kind of noticed is when you have the digital tiers, that's usually for people who really want to make sure that they can help and support a project, but maybe don't have a whole lot of funds. Some of the younger audiences that are maybe struggling paycheck to paycheck.
Right.
And a lot of your international backers who otherwise wouldn't be able to get it, because some of that international shipping is rough. Really rough.
It is. And it's hard to calculate. But thankfully, I've had a campaign that I had pretty much same exact book that I'm really glad that I know exactly what it costs. Not to every country, obviously, but I know, Canada, it's probably $10. And anywhere in the US, it's probably going to be $5. Other than like California, which will probably be $7 with my book. And then, obviously when it goes from the UK or something, or the rest of the world, it gets a lot more complicated. And so you just have to be prepared. But thankfully, I've been through it. I've been through this already. I know the exact size of the book, so I'm not estimating anymore. So
right. Well, and that's the thing is giving digital tiers. One of the things that I like being able to back physically and also get a digital copy, because then I have a backup for when I have my books nice and boarded and stored away and I don't want them to get damaged or anything. I have a backup where when I'm traveling, or if I just want to sit down and read in bed, I can download it onto my phone and sit down and read it, and really kind of get into the photos and stuff. But when it comes to owning something, I like physical. I like holding it in my hand. It makes me feel like I spent my money on a good premium product. Before we continue on, Pastmaster Dan had a good question. He wants to know, what's your target audience?
My target audience is children and adults alike, but in the way that Pixar and Disney kind of, in the classic movies, that they've really kind of captured that audience. So, or even the way that The Nightmare Before Christmas has a cult audience of adults and children. I just want to capture that kind of area, because I think that if you tell a story that's and with characters and a story that's compelling, I just think that it's really people are grasp onto that. People will always love compelling stories and the journey. The journey from one place to another, where the character goes through all these changes. And we have a character who is just a little boy, and by the end of the story, he's going to have all these world experiences, know all these things, be kind of enlightened. He's not going to be a Renaissance man, but he's going to be more knowledgeable about Planet Christmas, and he'll have a larger role in the community. And so it's just about that journey. It's why people like Star Wars so much. It's just seeing a character develop in a very satisfying way, and having them, have to go through so many obstacles and so many people tell them no. I just think people were fascinated with that story. So, so that's the goal with this, is just to find that area where it's bordering the line between kids and adults. Just a timeless kind of story that, there's adult parts of it. It talks about, what Christmas means, a really kind of deep things, I guess. I've thought a lot about the meaning of Christmas and I don't know. It's just a very, very personal to me. And I hope that people find that in kind of the characters. There's characters who, like Jack Frost, who he's trying to find redemption. Mm-hmm. And there's characters who they're not your average Christmas characters. Right. I mean, I guess you could say the Winter Warlock is kind of like that too, where he was like, "Oh, I'm a bad guy, but I want to be a good guy," and like, in the Year Without a Santa Claus or whatever it is. But it's just about kind of adding the depth to those characters, just adding depth, and I think people are really compelled by that. So hopefully it works. I believe it will.
I think that it does for sure. And I love what Past Master Dan is saying. It seems like a nice opportunity to sit with the kids and do my voices based on the first one. Oh my gosh. Like it makes me wish that I had like really all my nieces and nephews. I think the youngest one is like 26 now. So like I'm a great aunt. Like good shit. My nephew had a child. So I am now a great aunt. Like I don't have the opportunity to sit with like nieces and nephews. I don't have kids of my own. So I'm like looking at all my friends with children and going, well, when I get this book, we'll just sit down and I'll read you book one and then book two. But to sit down, and the characters are so well drawn and they're so interesting looking. If you are somebody who really likes to get into kids books and really like make it something special for them, it is exactly something that you can do that with, where you can sit down and I'm going to, read with all these different characters, and like I'm gonna make the Nutcrackers sound like kind of whiny and evil. Like you can do all of that easily.
Yes.
But it's also really entertaining. So like as an adult, you're not gonna be sitting here going like, see spot, run. You're like, I'm so sick of this stupid book. Like it's entertaining. There's a lot going on and there's a lot that you can see and point out. And so that's something that I think is, it makes it a lot more interesting for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I try to add a lot more depth to the story. And again, with number 2, we're trying to embrace that. Like, again, like I said, it's where the characters are going to be at their hot, they're going to be brought to a lot of difficulty and a lot of more conflict. And I think that will bring out their characters. Some parts good, some parts bad. I mean, Garrett can be whiny. He's a 10-year-old kid, and he's not always going to be so tolerant. And honestly, in the first issue, he is whiny. And so we get to see his progression kind of through that. So.
And I really, the way that you set him up in the beginning, I'm not going to lie, I kind of want to smack the kid.
Yeah,
like I read it and I was like, oh, child.
Yes.
But seeing the pages for book 2, I'm like, ooh, does it grow a little? I like it. Like it seems like he's going through this really epic journey that is awesome and entertaining for
sure. And they see there's just a lot of characters in this one, and I think that I think it and a lot of characters and we get to a lot of time with Garrett and Marie interacting for real, not just kind of like reacting to things, but actually talking and working through things and kind of getting to places and this and that. And so I just think it's really important, and I'm so excited for it. I'm so excited. And 3, I can't even get into it, but it's just going to be an epic space battle. So it's all it's kind of like the end of the first Star Wars, where it's just like massive scale battle, but it's just a really, really fun.
Yeah, absolutely. It sounds like a lot of fun for sure. All right, so back to your tiers. For a mere $24, you get 1 and 2, which is a crazy good deal.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, 1 and 2, and I will give out the limited versions of the first copy that I have, and then we're going to be doing a variant run. I don't know how many. It depends on how many people want it, but it's going to be, if you are familiar with the Father Christmas print, I think you got it when we had the first campaign, and it's just Father Christmas with the awesome reindeer, and then the Bric-a-Brac logo kind of shrinked a little. so it's smaller, so you can kind of see more of the art. And yeah, it's going to be that one. So,
so pretty.
Yeah, very, very cool.
And then you have the Bric-a-Brac Deluxe.
Yep. So yeah, just the exclusive Jack Frost print that was going to be the cover of the complete edition. But I'm actually glad that I have that now, because I would have never thought of, making another thing. And so it's kind of cool that I was like, okay, well, that can be a awesome new print that people can get. And a new bookmark that we're going to have. It's not going to be the same old one. We're going to have a different one. And yeah, so it's just, and then again, if you want to add on the first book, you can do that with this one. That was kind of what I created the add-on for, if you'd like, just kind of like standard, kind of deluxe perk.
Yeah. And then of course, Bric-a-Brac Super Fan, if you would like a t-shirt to go along with all of that.
Yeah, I really want a t-shirt myself, because I really do like, so it's just, I would love to have. So one person wants it. So, yeah, I would just love to have a t-shirt, because it'd be like so cool to wear it during Christmas. And so
absolutely.
We're playing with designs, but I think we're going to have the very simple logo on the front, but I think we're going to have the original, like the Nutcracker on the back or something like that. So we're just thinking about designs.
There's so many. Oh my gosh. You could do the Nutcracker on the back, which would be amazing. You could do the print, like where you did kind of worn edges for the Santa Claus and his two reindeer. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, okay. So there's so many great opportunities and so many. So it's just like a lot that needs to happen. I know.
There's too much art. I love the art of this book so much.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so many cool things that could happen.
Hello, Milton. Thank you. Yes, back this book. I agree. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. And yeah, this is the one that I'm kind of leaning towards, because it may not be a patch, but it's a cool t-shirt. I'm really into the t-shirts.
Yeah. No, the t-shirts are so cool, and it's like I just always I never know what to wear, so it's like if I wore my own thing, how cool would that be?
Just make your own wardrobe and just have it all be Bric-a-Brac.
Honestly, I would do it, and people would ask, "What is that?" It's like, oh, it's my own series. Like I created.
You'd be
that,
like wearing it in April, and people would be like, "Dude, it's not Christmas." And you go, "But this is my book."
Yeah, exactly.
Beautiful art.
Yeah, I feel like if I had my own merch, like if I was a band, I would wear it all the time. I couldn't help but wear it, because it's just like, why not? Like, I don't know. That's just kind of me. I don't really care what I wear. It's like, as
someone who has their own merch, I can tell you two reasons why not. One, it's expensive to buy your own merch sometimes, even with discount. Still sometimes a little bit pricey is why I don't own any of my own merch, which sucks. And two, the place that I've gotten through, I was unhappy with the print quality. So now I'm like, well, fuck, I need to find a better place.
Yeah,
so I can have better work.
Like what is like, well, we'll talk about this later probably. But yeah, I mean, just something like Teespring, I like how simple it is. Very simple, like you could just put this on here or this on here, like on the back, or this on the front. But I can see where it could probably misprint or something like that.
A lot of the colors that I've seen in Teespring tend to wash out, and it comes out looking kind of gray. The problem that I had with it is when you did two t-shirts with a male and a female, the exact same shirt. Otherwise, the female cut, one is a male cut. Put them side by side. The colors were different. I was not happy with that. There's a couple other really cool places that I've heard of, Redbubble, TeePublic, things like that. So I'm looking at a couple other places. But I also love sublimation printing.
Yes.
Because it's in the fabric. So it's not going to crack. It's not going to flake. It's not going to anything that everything else does. And it's not going to be like a big sheet of plastic on your chest that's hot and and gross.
Yeah, I know that there's sometimes I mean, you can't get every inch of the sublimated shirt, so like obviously they're like in the pit area, there's like it's white and stuff like that, at least in the sublimated shirts I have, but I still think it's really cool, so maybe that could be an option for something like that.
Look, I'm gonna mess around. If I find a good place, I'll let you know.
Definitely. Yes, please. I would like to. Yeah, for sure.
I will tell you, I'm not a fan of Teespring. That is what I can say.
Okay.
And see, yeah, like Comic Copy said, I've gotten several shirts from Redbubble, and they're good quality shirts. That's what I've heard, and that's what I was looking at moving our stuff to, and then ordering samples and being like, hey, are you better or are you worse? Let's go
Right.
from there. Anyway, sorry, got off on t-shirts. You know me when it comes to merchandising. This is like my thing. This is what
Yes.
I like to do, and I get really frustrated when I see good merch, like good design for merch, that gets screwed up by terrible like execution, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, so for $110, you get to create a Christmas character.
Yes. So you get everything and then you get to create a Christmas character. There's a lot of instances in the book where we can add a character. So again, if you want a Sasquatch or something like that, it's definitely plausible and possible. There's so many instances I can think of right now in the book where, especially one, where there literally any character that's kind of Christmas themed could work. So yes.
I like it. And this, I remember when we had you on last year, we ended up having a dad who bought this for his daughters.
Yes.
Who got to design their character, which was really exciting.
Yeah. And I remember him emailing me and saying how awesome they thought it was. So awesome, and I was like, yes, I need to do this again. Yeah, I'm actually looking at it now. What the character is, it's in like the reindeer stalls and at the Father Christmas's fortress, and I'm just looking. It's like a kind of unicorn with candy canes for wings. It was so cool to be able to do that. I was like, I love that. Or like the lobster, Christmas lobster, or all this stuff that we got to do. And then there's some characters in the battle between the Nutcrackers and the dragons. And I think there's a snowman and then there's like a cat. Yeah, it's just really, really cool stuff that we were able to do.
So fun.
Yeah.
That is awesome. You don't have, I think last time you had a limit on how many you would do. This time I don't see a limit.
Well, I didn't really see why I should have a limit, because it's like, why not? It's not, I don't know if there's going to be like 50,000 people doing it, but it's just like, it makes the backgrounds more interesting. And I've realized, it's just kind of cool and I think Raphael likes to do it too. So it's just really cool. So, we'll see. I hope some people do it. No one has done it yet, but that doesn't mean someone might do it later.
I'm sure somebody's at least one's probably gonna jump on this, because
exactly.
So you're getting number 2, the print, the bookmark, the t-shirt, and you get to create a character. So really, for $50, you're creating a character in a book. That is not terrible actually at all. Especially because you get to whatever your little creation that you can come up with, that's what you get to put out in there. And I think that's something that's really cool, especially if you have small ones and you wanted to do something for like a Christmas gift for them, and you said like you could design, and you could even do it as a surprise. If you could design any Christmas creature, what kind would you design, and have them kind of give you an idea and then hand that over to Ryan and Raphael. And then when you get your copy of Bric-a-Brac, you can go, do you remember when I asked you about your creature? There it is. And just open it to the page.
So
that would be amazing.
It would be.
And it would be a really great way for you to kind of spend Christmas Eve. I don't know if everybody does this. My family has always done Christmas Eve boxes where you get brand new pajamas. Usually we get to open like the stocking, and you get like a movie and just some fun stuff like that. That would be a really fun thing, I think.
Yes,
so throwing out ideas for all y'all, just saying. And in all honesty, it's, if you consider everything that they're getting, they would get the t-shirt and the bookmark and the book and everything like that. And then you're paying $50 more to bring their creation to life for them, which I think is a special thing for a kid, for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Welcome, Apex Comics. I love having new people. You are awesome. Very happy to have you come in and chill with us and see me dressed as a male nutcracker, because why not? This is what I do. Let's be real. This is what my show is. This is like the epitome of what this show is this right here. But yeah, so that's something I think is always super fun. And then if you wanted to go for another extra $50,
Yep, so a sketch. Yeah, and so we're going to try to make them a little more complex than last time. They were kind of primitive last time, but we're going to try to go for like a full body shot, basically, this time. And so, again, any character you request from the book has to be from the book. But yeah, so that's kind of the rule there. But yeah.
Oh, Jason with the dangerous and amazing ideas.
Plushies, yes.
Oh my gosh, I want a Nutcracker plushie so bad.
Yeah, that would be so cool. It would be really cool.
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing. Huh, or one of the reindeer, because the way that he did the reindeer is so awesome.
Yeah, they look kind of like evolved Pokemon, basically.
Yeah.
Like that's like kind of the idea we were going for. Exactly. Yeah, it's like the Pokemon at like the peak level. Like you can't get any more adult and steroided up. Yeah.
Apex, that happens a lot around here. I freak everyone out with my makeup. It's okay. It's cool. And yeah, I agree. So look, guys, if we want Ryan to do plushies, the first step is we got to get him funded. If we get him funded, then I can talk him into patches. I can talk him into custom plushies. Just saying. But we got to get him funded first.
Yeah, it has to become, it has to be real first, tangible first. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, oh my gosh, my brain. Like, I really wish that I was confident enough in my sewing ability to try and I might just try it anyway. Fuck it. If I mess it up, then you'll never know. But if I do a good job, then guess what? Custom tier. Oh shit.
That would be so cool.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. I could imagine.
Get this shit funded so I spend time doing it.
Exactly. Yeah. I could imagine like the Marie one would be really cool because she's so unique looking, gingerbread marshmallow mixture. Yeah. I would feel like she would be such a cool thing. Oh,
and if you made her out of Minky, so it's soft and cuddly.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. And that would be amazing.
Jason, I know I'm right there with you, hun. Jason asked me to remind him to back in 2 weeks, and I will remind him because I will also have to back in 2 weeks. We both ended up getting tiers in Unstitched to donate to a children's hospital.
Right. Justin Dutton's, right? That's him. Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. He's got one of the coolest tiers I think out there. That's really awesome. Where he's gonna donate. Everyone who backs it, it's like 6 of his book are going to St. Jude's.
Oh, that's so cool.
It's amazing. It was super awesome. And Milton says a cartoon show of Bric-a-Brac in the future one day. Write that one down. That I think would be pretty badass.
It would be very much so. Yeah.
And apparently I have a magic face. Thank you, Wolverine. I've done stage makeup and things like that for a while. So I don't know, dude. I don't know why I'm good at this. It's a weird talent to have. Tatsunami, thank you ever so much for the 1 franc 50. And I'm loving the ice cream super sticker. You are awesome. You guys are amazing. So there are so many great ways that you guys can get behind this. I actually, you know what? I'm just going to throw this out there because I wanted to talk to you about this on your first campaign. So the one major gripe that I had with you on your first campaign.
Yes.
So you offered these ornaments.
Yes.
Bless you.
Infamous ornaments.
Bless you. I love you to. I felt like I got an ornament from a kindergartner.
Yeah. I thought that here the one thing was that I got someone to illustrate kind of exclusive things. I was like, okay, people will really like that, and if it's handmade, I don't know. But I was kind of going for that, but this time I just decided we're not going to do ornaments now. I think that maybe we should just go with the bookmark. I just kind of thought it was going to be an additional little thing, but yeah, it wasn't that great. They were not that good.
So I'm issuing a challenge.
Yes.
I have a phenomenal idea for ornaments. I need you to send me some really cool art of the characters standalone, like
For sure.
the Nutcracker,
Yeah.
one of the reindeers, Santa Claus, whatever, right? The main characters, something interesting like that.
Uh-huh.
I ordered a bunch of Shrinky Dink paper.
Yes.
And honestly, if we printed it, that I can put through an inkjet. So I'm going to try printing some of it up, punching a hole, shrinking it down, and we will see if we can't make some pretty badass ornaments that we can do, maybe as a stretch goal.
Yeah, maybe.
If it's possible.
Yeah.
Maybe as a limited tier run or something cool like that. I also found some, I'm not going to lie, I was super excited. I found glow in the dark Shrinky Dink paper.
That's so cool.
I almost died. I was like, dude, if we did this with like those reindeer, that would be badass.
That would be that would be so badass. Yeah, we need to make it happen.
Even the guys behind me, right? If we got them with their guns and made the ray, there's so many ways that we could do this, and we could do some pretty cool things. So for a lot of these campaigns, I'm offering up cosplay tiers. What I kind of want to do for yours is I kind of want to do like a knick-knack Christmas kind of thing, if we can get you to funding. So if we can get you to funding, you and I will sit down and talk about a cool little keepsake tier, and we'll do a couple of things.
That would be so cool. Yeah, I there's so many things you can do with the Christmas theme, and and there's just an unbelievable amount. So yeah.
Yeah, I had unhinged as in a plushie stretch goal. We will work on the plushie. I make zero promises. My plushie skills don't always hold up to children that destroy them. I used to do sock monkeys. I did a sock monkey, gave it to one of my friend's little kids. She loved it so much, she ripped a hole in the crotch. And I was like, damn, like,
oh my
I
God.
triple stitched that. How did you do that, child? I was like, I need her to like beta test all of my toys now. Anytime I make one, be like, I'm going to give you one and you just play with it for 2 weeks. And then I'm going to ask your mom what fell apart so I know how to fix it.
Oh my gosh.
All right, guys. I need all of your questions, whatever questions you guys might have for this amazing book, this awesome project, and this absolutely passionate, wonderful creator, Ryan Haack, who is just one of my favorite people to have on, because it's so genuine. That's the thing, is when we have you on for any of your projects, it's like the most genuine interaction with another human being.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm getting yelled at that apparently there was a question that I missed from Jason. So Jason, and you forgot it. Oh my gosh, you're just the worst. Not really. No, we love Jason to death. He's super amazing. That's about the plushies. That wasn't to us. That was to Apex. I don't see your question. I swear. See, I'm always trying to stay like totally up on these questions because I don't want to miss any of them. But that's how this goes. Yeah, I don't see any questions from him. Oh, there you go. I found it, Jason. I found it. Did you write the entire thing already on an issue by issue basis? That's a good question.
I've written the entire thing. It is done. Yes. So we know where we're going, how we get there. There might be edits and stuff like that with the lettering, definitely, because, obviously when you get the art back, you do have to modify. Like, let's say that there's a big moment and it's kind of blocked with text. So that's kind of really cool to be able to have written the whole thing and then go back and see like, what was I trying to go for here? And I think that it's really important to kind of write the whole thing down, just to have it there, just to have it. And I think it gives you fuel to want to finish the project too, because I don't like things just sitting around. And it's one of the reasons why I love writing prose, is that it can be done immediately. Whereas when you're writing scripts, you can't, it kind of just drifts away. It's like, oh, well, if you don't do anything about it, it's gonna leave, or it might never happen. And so, yeah, it's done 100%.
That's awesome. Jason's standard question, and I feel like if you don't answer the way that I think you're to, I'm gonna have to find you and punch you. If you were a tree, what tree would you be?
Well, a Christmas tree, but
there we go. Damn straight. I was like, Ryan, if you say anything other than Christmas tree, you would in so much trouble.
But I feel like being a Christmas tree, it would be kind of boring in a way, because and honestly, maybe painful, because people are putting all these heavy ornaments on you, and I don't know.
Strong.
Yeah, maybe you would be just lifting. Yeah, exactly.
You just be like super ripped.
Yeah,
I feel like that's good.
Yeah, exactly.
And Past Master Dan said that he will be an elm because they are comfy.
Yes, or whatever the trees are in the redwoods. I feel like that would be second though, because those trees are just so large and old. I don't know.
Right. And here's Jason with the Christmas spirit. You'd also be dead. Thank you, Jason. You can have a Christmas tree that stays in the woods that you just decorate. It's okay.
Yeah, there's one in this book. Yeah.
See, and Past Master Dan knows these like bulbs are like tats for trees. There you go. See, you just be like a freaking hardcore tree. It'd be awesome.
Exactly. Actually, yes.
Right? I'm just saying. And Wolverine is saying, apparently I'm taking this, where it says some might say that Shae always looks like a cartoon. I apparently took it as an insult when it might have maybe been meant as a compliment. I don't believe you. I think it was meant as an insult, sir.
Sir.
Oh my goodness. Dude, this is a really exciting campaign. This is something that I really, really want to see grow.
Yeah.
Because you have earned it for sure. And I will say, so I'm going to bring it back up real quick. So you're sitting at 30 backers. Just do a quick refresh. We got you at least one backer.
Yay. Awesome.
I will take it. 14% of your 8,600 fixed goal. And keep in mind, while the goal may seem like it's a little bit high, Ryan is busting his butt and investing a lot of his own money in this. And I don't think that this goal is unreasonable. I think he's being very realistic with what it is that he needs.
I want to. Yeah, I don't go halfway. So I want to make sure that if it's a good, I want to go big or go home. Because what's the point of not? Like, why would I want to give you something that's not the best that I can do? Because I've already learned that lesson. I've gone down that road with the last issue, kind of having to cut off. And I was like, that doesn't feel good. So it's like, I really want to make sure that doesn't happen again. And so I want to give people the full experience. So
absolutely. And Jason is saying technically you got 3 backers, just not right now. You got me and Jason in about 2 weeks when I get paid again. It'll be fine.
No, that's awesome. And we'll still be up. And, I'm probably going to ask you after the show who else I can interview with, because I want to that's how you get there.
Absolutely. Comic Book Scrapyard has a great question. What would be your dream mainstream comic IP to work with?
I would say maybe, I don't know. I really like in terms of like Marvel or DC or
any mainstream, Marvel, DC, like Image, Dark Horse, whatever.
I occasionally think of maybe like Superman stories, but I think a character that really interests me a lot would be like Jonah Hex, or like I really like cowboy stories, or just something weird like that, or The Question, or Etrigan the Demon. I think would maybe be my favorite though, because I just love that. I would have to say Etrigan the Demon, because there's just so much about the demonology and I read the Jack Kirby stuff, and I was like, man, I love that. It's not dark, but it's kind of like riding the line of like demonology, but like Jason Blood is just such a cool character, and his past is so cool. I think there's so much more that can be developed there. And so I would say on the DC front, definitely Etrigan would be like number one. And on Marvel, I would say like, I don't know, there's maybe Ghost Rider or something like that. But I think there's just so many great characters. So many.
So you just made Jason's night. He says, "Yeah, the Christmas guy likes the demon."
Yes, he is like one of the greatest DC characters. I mean, I love how he always speaks in rhyme, and oh my gosh, I love Etrigan the Demon. His design, everything.
Well, that's the funny thing is, if you haven't ever talked to Ryan is a multifaceted individual. He absolutely loves almost like a childlike wonderment for Christmas. And then like a super fucked up other side. And it's wonderful because it shows you like you don't have to just be one thing. Like, yes, he loves Christmas. It's one of his favorite things ever. However, he also really he's got a lot of other interests, and he's got other books that he's trying to put out and things like that.
Right.
That are not even close to this at all.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all.
Not even a little bit. Apex wants to know, how long did it take to write your book, and is the book still in production?
Yes, the book is definitely still in production. Like I said, we're 25% in, but again, Raphael is a super fast illustrator, and Tom the same, and so we'll be able to punch out the book once we get funded. And in terms of this writing of the story, like I said, also I am done with it. So we know where we're going with issue 2, and honestly, a lot of issue 3. I mean, almost actually all of issue 3. It's just there's some roughing out I need to do, which is kind of a given with these sorts of things. Like I said, when you look at the art again, I think a lot of comic book writers really should do a second draft, because it's important to just look over and see, does the writing complement the art? How does it need to be there? It's all that stuff. So
yep, exactly. And I do, like, I understand. I hate waiting. I'm an impatient person. But if I'm waiting for a good product, I will always prefer to wait to get the product that the person wanted to put out than to rush it so I get it now.
Yeah.
Especially because I've had a lot of books and things that I've gotten that after I've gotten them and I've read them, I went, I don't think I'm going to back the next one. I don't think that I'm into it. I was, but I'm just not seeing it.
Yeah.
And then there's others that I had almost no expectations for. And I went through and read them and went, holy shit, that was so well done. I can't wait for the next one. I have to back the next one. It was just too good. So definitely make sure that what you're putting out there is representative of you and what you want, because that's how a lot of people are going to judge it for sure.
Right. And yeah, I mean, regardless, people are going to like it or not like it either way. So I think when you, because like when I wrote the first issue, people were saying, oh, some parts could be better. I mean, I had almost entirely all positive feedback, but the people who say, oh, it's not that great, sometimes some parts of it make no sense, there's always going to be people who don't like your art. And so once you realize that, it's very freeing, because you're never going to satisfy everyone. So just keep pushing and keep investing in your own self, and you will get better. You will get better.
Well, and if you find the people that can give constructive criticism that like what you're doing, but maybe have suggestions on how you could execute it better, right, those are valuable people to have around, because they want you to succeed. They like what you've got. They just think that it's falling short in a couple of places. And as long as you've got, a little bit of thick skin, you can take a little bit of criticism. That's one of the best ways to go about it, is find those people that are going to be honest and tell you, like, hey, this is where it fell short. This is where things didn't quite work like you hoped.
Exactly. Yeah. There are always people who want to tear things down, though. There will always be, because I think it's their inside. They have a darkness that they just kind of exude, and it's just you got to get away from those people. They're toxic.
Exactly. So. And it's understanding the difference, like constructive criticism versus just hating for the hell of it.
Right. Exactly.
Very different. I believe this is our last question. So Dan wants to know, are you going in demand?
I am going in demand, as long as I know that we'll have more books probably than we need, so I will go in demand, and probably until the end of October, or even until the books are done, basically. And so, yeah, that's kind of my philosophy on the in-demand thing, is just until the books are done, we'll keep it up. So, yeah.
I like it. Something to consider. And, chat, feel free to go ahead and tell me that you think I'm stupid and wrong. it almost seems like a good idea to stay in demand, but have your guaranteed by Christmas date as a cutoff for right when you're going to go for shipping, and then have where you might be able to do a second or third ordering or even over order, because I see it as you might have people that are going to get it in time for Christmas that are going to share it, and they might share it with a large amount of their family because everyone's getting together around Christmas time. And then you'll have people going, man, where did you get that book? That actually is something I would have for my kids for next year, or something that you know, I would love to be able to read to them or whatever. And it might be a good idea to extend the in demand for a little bit, provided that, I mean, obviously the first hurdle is getting funded. But just something to consider. Something to consider.
Sure. Yeah, definitely got to get over the first hurdle. But yeah, I mean, you know, also there's the Kickstarter thing. I could have, like, if the books are done, I could have a $500 or a $5 goal and be like, okay, here's what I need to, you know, and then here's, you know, you pay your shipping and this and that, and there's a whole new audience you get to get to experience for really no stress. There's no stress with that because the books are done. So it's like, why not? So.
Exactly. That's something that is a good thing to consider. So let's get him funded so we can consider all of these avenues, because Ryan absolutely deserves it. He puts in the work, and he actually really believes in what his story is, and he tells a fun tale. He does tell a very fun tale. So one more last minute question. Do you think you do more holiday themed stories in the future?
You know, there's no telling, you know, maybe one day there could be a sequel. Yeah, again, I would love to do that. I would love to see what that would be like. But as of right now, I'm not planning on anything other than just finishing this first, and just finishing this and solidifying it, and kind of trying to make it a thing, you know, because it's very difficult to get stuff like that off the ground, especially. Yeah, I just, you know, crowdfunding is not for the faint of heart. So it's very difficult.
No, it is not. Crowdfunding is difficult. Crowdfunding is very, very difficult.
Yes. But yeah, so but maybe in the future, if there's a Bric-a-Brac 2 or anything like that, I would love to do that for sure.
Heck yeah.
And I also think about Christmas. I always think about Christmas things. You know, it could be just some Christmas story that I have. I always write I love the holiday, even if it's just the story happens to happen on Christmas. I just love that. So. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And you know, I love seeing people that are passionate about something that choose that to write about. I always think it goes over a lot better. You know what, Ryan, thank you so much for coming on. This has been awesome. It's been really, really fun. And
thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
And thank you everyone in the chat for hanging out. Please do not forget to go and back Bric-a-Brac today. Thank you very much, Jason, for posting the link in the channel. Make sure that you go and check it out. Let's get this to funded, because I really want the continuation of my Christmas story to happen, and I want to see this growth, and I want to see more of this absolutely beautiful art by Raphael. It's amazing. It's really well done, and the passion is absolutely there. So please go and back it today. And while you're out there doing some pretty awesome stuff, please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to Red Valkyrie. We finally have memberships unlocked, and I am looking into exactly what we're going to offer. I'm gonna be honest, probably gonna be a patch, because let's be real, Shae can't demand patches from everyone else and not even have one to give. So we're going to look into that. I'm gonna have a conversation with Cy, because obviously this is every bit Cy's channel as it is mine, and we're gonna come up with some really cool stuff for you guys. So stay tuned for that. And we will catch all of you absolutely beautiful people next time. See you later.
Yes.